Welcome to my website. I'm Chris Janke. I'm being real casual tonight. I just put the kids to sleep, and I just wanted to talk to you. I don't have time to get this all super fancy, so I got my good microphone out, so hopefully the audio quality is good. So I want to come at you with some of the quotes that a lot of my clients will tell me that, going to the gym is like a 2-hour ordeal. Who has time for that? They want to get a full body workout at home, right? Or maybe you're thinking something like, you want to do the right workout for you, and there's all these workouts out there. You don't know what to do for you. There's like thousands of exercises, but what are the 15 exercises that you need right now? And then somebody else says, I hear this one a lot, they don't want to buy the newest piece of fitness equipment, like a bike or something, because it's just going to sit in the garage and gather dust and become the next thing that they hang their clothes on, right? And then the last one that I want to go and address today is, I'm tired of killing myself during these workouts. I'm sore all the time. My back hurts. Does this whole no pain, no gain methodology even work? I'm here to tell you it doesn't, by the way. So I'm 41 years old. I had back pain when I was 14. Horrible back pain. I bulged a disc in my lower back. I'm telling you, no pain, no gain. You don't have to live by those words anymore. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need any special equipment. You don't even need to leave your house. No pain, no gain. Don't need it. I founded My Core Balance. Now I'm at chrisjanke.com, and I also do a podcast called Health in the Real World. Getting fit does take discipline and it takes consistency, but it does not take special equipment. It does not take the no pain, no gain methodology. You can achieve your fitness goals, and you can do it without the drama, the hype, the no pain, no gain, rah-rah in your face. It seems to, unfortunately, come with the modern gym environment. I realized back when I became a personal trainer in 2004 that the fitness industry is pretty broken. There's so many modalities that think that more is better, right? How many calories did I burn? How much weight did I lift? How fast did I run? Blah, blah. Honestly, I could not care less. The most important things to me, both as a person and as a trainer, and what I look for in my clients is, how much back pain do you have? Throughout your day, like always, you should have 0. Zip, zip, zip. How easy is it for you to touch your toes? Should be able to pretty easily. These are all things that the human body was meant to do. You're meant to move without back pain. If you have back pain or if you can't touch your toes, something is going on. I've helped hundreds of people quickly get out of back pain and be able to touch your toes. Third thing is, how happy are you generally with how your body moves? Like, do you have good balance? When you get up from the toilet, like, do you feel dizzy? Like, honestly, these are things that we think about. I'm 41. My oldest client is 82, 83. These are some serious things. And the whole span in between. Most of my clients are older than me, but younger than him. So 50s, 60s. We want to make sure our day-to-day lives are manageable, right? Can you perform your day-to-day tasks without losing your breath? That's another really, really good consideration. And it doesn't matter what your beats per minute is exactly. If you're interested in that, cool. Go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do that with you. So what leads to actual results, though? The most important thing, again, is consistency. 100% consistency, which is a good thing because this lets you off the hook. It's not intensity. It doesn't matter how intense you go if you only go once a week. It's all about consistency. So I would rather have you do 10 minutes a day at a low intensity than to accumulate all those 10 minutes and do like 70 minutes once a week at a high intensity. That's not going to do it. A little bit each day, and then what's going to happen is your body will tell you when it's ready to progress. So I can't go and write down on my little prescription paper and say, okay, after 3 weeks, you're going to be able to progress, and this is what your heart rate zone is going to be. And then that's completely unrealistic, and that's not how the body works, because those prescriptions are all generalized. To give you an idea of this, when COVID started, March 2020, I took everything virtual. I did Zoom workouts. I did 3 workouts every single day, 5 days a week. Now, I was already a fit dude. It took me 3 months before I didn't feel absolutely wiped out. I was done. I had to take a 3-hour nap after those classes for 3 months. And finally, after 3 months, my body, I started to get little glimpses of all right, I can handle this now. 3 months. Now, if I didn't have 4 kids and I didn't have all the stress, maybe it would have not taken me as long because I would have, I was sleeping better, stuff like that. Like I said, I just put the kids to sleep. This is what you get. It's 9:30 at night, and this is when I'm recording this. But again, I just wanted to chat with you. the workouts. Okay, so going back to consistency. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. Going back to consistency, it's that focus. It's that focus on the consistency, and then the effort will come. So if you're a beginner especially, this is very important for you. All I want you to focus on is getting it done, just doing it, right? That's it. That's my goal, is to help you develop consistency. Once you're consistent, then we can get fine-tuned. We can start focusing on your posture, your balance, your strength, your core, your cardio. All that comes after the consistency. So I built this whole program to honestly, seamlessly, like I built it in where you don't even have to think about it. You just show up to the workout. Just show up to the workout and you just do the work. And it's fun. It's easy. You're there with your friends. You're getting coached from me and getting cheered on. There's no negativity. There's no, oh, come on, what do you do? None of that. Like, I don't like trainers. I don't like it when trainers do that. In fact, if I'm more motivated than you are, that's a problem. So what I'll do is I'll sit back and I'll say, hey, if you feel like it, this is what we're going to do now. And if this is too hard, if this particular exercise is too hard, then here's a version for you. I'm not going to push you harder than you want to be pushed. And so coming out of the gate, if that's an issue, then maybe another trainer will be right for you. But I believe in this. And again, 15 plus years of being a trainer, I believe we have good days and we have bad days. And if even if you're really fit, you've been coming to me for 2 years and you're really, really fit, and you're having a bad day because you only slept for 2 hours because you changed the baby's diaper every night, every hour of the night, who am I to come in and say, come on, you need to do 20 more? That's not my role. My role is to help you navigate the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights of life and integrate your workout into that. Because what if me telling you and forcing you to do 20 more aggravates some previous injury and then you're out of commission for 2 months? That is just like, for me, the cardinal sin is like pushing you when you're not ready to be pushed. Whether you're a beginner or whether you're just flat out having a bad day, or maybe you have an injury, I'm not going to push you through that. I'm not. There's too much at stake, right? If you get injured, you're talking months. I remember reading a Warren Buffett article, and somebody asked him, what's the secret to getting rich? And he said, don't lose money. And I would say something similar. What's the secret to getting fit? Don't get injured. Honestly, that's the secret, because then you can be consistent. Man, I have a lot of energy for 9:30 at night. This is great. So again, I don't know if I introduced myself at the beginning. Chris Janke. I started second guessing the fitness industry 15 plus years ago, again, as a personal trainer. The whole culture of sets and reps and maximum reps and or max bench press, blah, blah, max heart rate, VO2 max. It's just real tedious to keep track of. And it just doesn't make a lot of sense as far as what people really want. Nobody really, except for athletes, nobody really walks around saying, I wish my VO2 max was better. Or, it's not like a credit score, right? Like, credit score is 720. Oh, my VO2 max is whatever it is. Because one reason I became a personal trainer in the first place is when I was a kid, my favorite time in school was recess and lunch, because that's when we got to go out and play. But so many adults, we start to dread exercise, yet, as we grow up. So I'm not sure. I mean, the only reason to dread exercise is, honestly, okay, let's just be honest. It is something to be dreaded. Like, let's be honest, it sucks. I like exercising, but I don't like the exercise industry, the way that they present it and the way that it's, couched, right? So I like doing things that I like doing. Like, I'm not going to exercise just because it gives me results. I'm not going to waste like an hour or two of my day and drudging through a workout that I hate, doing an exercise that I hate just because it's going to give me results. I have to find meaning and joy in the process. And that's what I've created through this program to give my clients. Like, I enjoy hanging out with my clients. I enjoy chatting with you guys. It's fun for me. Like, it's been probably like, again, I was a trainer 2004. I didn't like being a trainer the whole time because I didn't realize that I could do things my own way. But I would say I haven't worked in 6 years because I just go and I hang out with my friends. And then my friends tell me how great the results are, and it's awesome. And I can tell that they enjoy coming. That's what I want. And it's holistic. So what I mean by that is that it's not just strength. It's not just cardio. It's not just core. It's not just flexibility. It's everything. Because if you have one without the other, it doesn't make any sense. Like when I was in college, I was incredibly strong because I was lifting weights with these two really buff dudes. I got really strong, and I was taking like creatine and stuff, which I don't recommend. That's the only time I ever did it. Uh, but I couldn't even touch my toes. I could barely get past my knees with my legs straight. I was so inflexible, it was ridiculous. And then just after college, I had dreams of playing like semi-pro basketball, and I hired an athletic trainer. We worked together for 18 months. I could dunk a basketball with two hands for a little bit, but I still had back pain, and I still sprained my ankles literally like twice a month. It was bad. So it's like, what's going on here? Like, I was the fastest guy on the court, but I was in pain. What else? Oh, in high school, I was a decent athlete, but I always had back pain because I always went full blast. I always was the guy diving on the floor to get the basketball. And basically, throughout my whole life, it's been a lack of balance. So again, it wasn't until maybe 6 or 8 years ago where I really started thinking, actually it was 2011, about 10 years ago, I really started getting the whole picture and asking questions like, how do I get it all? Like, I want it all, and I want my clients to have it all. Strength, flexibility, core, balance, posture, balanced posture. So I'm 41 years old now, and I do probably half the work that I used to do, but I'm stronger, more flexible, and I feel a whole lot better. One big reason is because I don't get injured. If I feel even like a little twinge, like I stop, I change direction. I don't get attached to, oh, I was supposed to do 25 reps. No, none of that. So I want to teach you how to do this. Most of my personal training clients are older than me, and I'm teaching them, and they're reporting the same type of results that I just reported to you. So I have a couple different options. If you're still watching this, I'm pretty sure you're a good candidate if you're interested in what I'm saying. So I would love to show you this. I would love to show you the webinar, different details that I have as far as how I do this. I can show you. I can bring you in. You can try a sample class or two or a week. Honestly, I don't have any plans as far as oh, we're doing this promotion. You're gonna know if it's for you after a couple classes, and I'd love for you to try it out. So put your email address below, and we'll keep in touch. We'll keep in communication and see if this is a right fit for you. I only want to sign you up as a client if it is a right fit for you. So if you're a little hesitant, tentative, trust me, I've been doing this long enough where I know that if this isn't a right fit for you, if I were to somehow force and coerce you to come on board, it's not going to be good for anybody, so you or me. So having said that, if you are still interested, if you feel like, wow, everything that he just said kind of resonates with me, I really want a holistic program. I really want something that'll take into account my own unique needs. I want something that's kind of a hybrid, which is, so this took me a while to create, but I was doing personal training for a while. Personal training can get expensive. It's the best because you get one-on-one attention, but you don't get the community because you're only working with your trainer, and it's expensive, $1,000+ a month. On the other end of the spectrum, you have gym memberships or group classes that don't have any one-on-one accountability, and then you just get lost in the shuffle. The workouts might be good, but you might just get lost. There's so many people. So I wanted to create that hybrid. So you meet with me when you're first starting, maybe once a week, and after you're on more of a maintenance, then maybe once a month. You meet with me one-on-one, and I sort of guide you. I coach you. There are the group classes where we're all joking around. The best classes are the ones where people are just joking, having fun, and then every minute or so I'll interrupt you guys and say, all right, now we're going to do this. Boom, 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 boom. It's just fun. It just passes the time like nothing. And then the third component is the pre-recorded workouts. I think I'm up to 27. I think there's 27 workouts in varying lengths. The shortest workout is 6 minutes, and then the longest I think is only 25 minutes. So lots of options here. I want to get to know you. I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know how I can help you. And trust me, I've been doing this a long time, since 2004, and have a whole breadth of knowledge. We got you. You're in good hands. So put your email down below, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with you, getting to know you, and helping you achieve your fitness goals safely, without any equipment, without leaving your living room, and let's have some fun in the process. Okay, we're moving right along. We're talking again about how you can achieve your fitness goals without all the drama, the hype, the no pain, no gain, rah rah in your face intensity that seems to come with the current gym environment. And again, I'm Chris Janke, and I've been a trainer since 2004. So, welcome. I want to thank you for taking the time to register for this. And my goal is to simplify fitness. We're here because we're tired of no pain, no gain, all that drill sergeant stuff. I realized soon after I became a trainer, again, I said this before, that the fitness industry is broken. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. How much pain do you have? How easy is it for you to touch your toes? Are you happy with the way your body moves? And can you perform your day-to-day tasks without losing your breath? Okay, I briefly mentioned a little bit that I have 4 children. I have this business. I have a podcast. Like, I'm busy. My kids are 2, 5, 7, and 9 years old. Okay, I don't even have a 10-year-old. I have three in school, and then one who's a preschooler. I'm busy. I get it. Life is busy. So, to give you an idea of what I do to work out, I'm teaching my classes, and then I'm lifting weights. In the classes, there's 90% of what you need. And then I just lift weights for, like, I'm not even kidding, 20 minutes once or twice a week. That's it. So I remember when going to the gym started to become tedious, and finding all my clothes, my water bottle, etc., driving to the gym, figuring out what workout I wanted to do. This was killing me because I know so many workouts. I'm like, well, which one do I want to do today? Doing the workout, showering, driving back home. It's probably like a 2-hour ordeal. And even someone who loves working out like I did, and I still do, but I don't have the time to do that. I don't. I used to. In my 20s, I had plenty of time, and I would be at the gym for 3 hours straight. I'd be stretching, I'd be rolling, I'd play a little basketball, lift some weights. Not anymore. But on top of that, you have so many different types of workouts, right? You have flexibility, which is foundational. But then if you're just stretching all the time and you're not burning any calories, you're not getting stronger, well, all right, we have to do other stuff: range of motion, strength, cardio, core. There's a lot to keep track of, right? It's a lot to maintain this earth suit. So and that's just to maintain it, right? What about to build? What about to progress to the next level? So when I was working out constantly, going to the gym all the time, you know, I would take a step forward and in one area, but I would take like a step backwards in another area. When I was doing mostly core, I noticed that my strength suffered. I got really weak, and actually, my wedding photos in 2009. This is what a lot of people were asking me, who I hadn't seen for a while. They were at my wedding. They're like, "Chris, are you okay? Like, you look really skinny." I was like, I had a big head because my body was so skinny. When I was just focused on building strength and lifting weights, I noticed that I had a lack of cardiovascular endurance, and I started to gain a little weight, and I got back pain. So, you know, again, I've been a trainer since 2004. I played sports since I was 5 years old, 1985, and I've always loved it. I've always loved the fitness aspect of sports, but there's never been balance up until probably about 8 to 10 years ago, 2011, so 10 years ago. There has to be a way to come up with like an umbrella workout, right? So that's what I always was thinking. And for me, it turned out that it started that I was working out in a way that was similar to the way that I was envisioning training my clients. So I had to become like the human guinea pig. I had to combine all these modalities into a structured workout system that worked. Another aspect is I don't like relying on equipment. Like, I'll use it occasionally, but I don't like relying on it. I'm always thinking, like, if I see an infomercial on TV, I'm always thinking like, well, how can I make this? How can I replicate this without the equipment, right? Do you remember Shake Weight? You remember Shake Weight where you did like this? Um, just like jiggle a dumbbell around. Like, you don't need to buy a Shake Weight, right? Ab Blaster 2000. Just get in a plank position and then walk your hands forward and then walk your hands backwards. You don't need the Ab Blaster, the wheel. The latest, greatest $2,000, $3,000 stationary bicycle. Go running, walking, or honestly, if it's snowing, raining outside, do jumping jacks for 20 minutes. Like, I'm not kidding. Just do jumping jacks for 20 minutes. So many people have this backwards, right? They think they buy the fancy equipment and then they'll get the results. But in reality, I'd say the only people who need to buy the fancy equipment are those who have exhausted all possibilities with their own body weight. And if you're already there, you probably don't need the group classes. You need me one-on-one. I can take you to that next level. We need a little more customization. So the number one thing, I know I said this before, the number one thing that leads to results is consistency, right? Consistency gives you momentum. So rather than focusing on the equipment, the key to fitness is consistency. That's why I created this program. My goal is to help you develop consistency. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit more about the program later, but right now we're going to start with a couple different sort of tactics that you can implement today to get a healthier body. Okay, so number one, start with the big picture. Okay, the very, 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 very big picture. You want to determine where you want to be, right? This might be a 5-year goal, maybe 3-year goal, maybe a 6-month goal, but you do want to go big. I would say bigger than 6 months probably, but what's your ideal? Like, what is your absolute ideal? You could completely restructure your body in a year or two. I'm not kidding. Like, you're 50 pounds overweight, great. You can be at your ideal weight within a year, and then you could be a rock star a year later. So think of that, 2 years, and you are a different person. 100. You're not just like a little step bigger, but you are a different person. So I need you to start imagining what that different person looks like, feels like, moves like, what that person eats, how that person behaves, what kind of words you use, how you speak, everything. Okay, so and then secondly, this is easier if you've already had this goal. So are you trying to return to like a fitness level that you were in high school? If so, then start imagining who you were in high school and start doing what you did in high school. I understand you're a little older, that's cool, but you can still get the results similar to what you had in high school. Or is this something unique? If this is something that you've never done before, you can still do it. It just takes a little bit more imagination, and you have to kind of in your head pull yourself out of your own shoes, maybe put them into maybe my shoes or somebody else who is fit, who you admire. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is focus on consistency. I have said this word 1.5 million times, but the way when you have the big picture, and now to get to that big picture, you need consistency. So imagine you're back in like the Renaissance days, medieval days, and they had the sailing ships, and they navigated in the sea based on the stars. Talk about big picture, right? You're going really big picture with those stars. But then you need to be consistent. If you know you're headed that way toward that star, you need to consistently go that direction. And if one day you're headed the wrong direction, you need to real quickly turn around and go back the other direction. So think of the goal as your North Star, right? That's your big picture. Hundreds of years ago with the ships, I already said that. Each day, okay, here we go. Each day adding up to more results. So focus on the time you carve out of your day each day. And then the hint is, if you can't find time in your day, wake up a little earlier. Because I don't care how unfit you are, look at the fittest person in the world. You and that person have the same amount of hours in the day. Let that sink in a little bit. Because I'm going to be really real right now. Like, one of the excuses that I hear all the time is that you don't have time. Time is the one thing that we all have the same of. Okay, you may not have the genetics that somebody else does. That's fine. You can still optimize your genetics. You may not have the money that somebody else does. It's fine. You have the same amount of time, though. You have the same amount of time as Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. Somehow they find a way to make all this money. I don't know. You have the same amount of time as the Olympians, the professional athletes. Somehow they find time to optimize their body. So if time is an excuse for you, think about it, work on that a little bit, and try to move past it slowly. Don't judge yourself, just very slowly move past it. Okay, next I want to talk about grabbing the low-hanging fruit. Now, it's a pun, play on words. Of course, we know fruits and vegetables are good for you. What I do with my kids, this will kind of help you if you're struggling with nutrition. First, fruit is the low-hanging fruit, because if you eat fruit, your body knows exactly how to digest it. Don't listen to people say, oh, it's so high sugar. Like, don't worry about it. Unless you have like a very special condition, or like you're diabetic and even fruit sugar aggravates you. But I would say in general, don't worry about that. So what I do, again, I have 4 kids. What I do with them is I take them to the grocery store to eat. Like, we don't go to fast food restaurants, even if they're cheap. We go to the grocery store. We'll go to the fresh fruit and vegetable aisle first. We'll get a few baskets of maybe like berries, or we'll get some bananas, apples, oranges, and then get one vegetable that I know they'll eat, like sugar snap peas are really good. And so that's one huge chunk of the meal. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll say, all right, guys, we're going to buy these first. We go outside where there's like a little patch of grass and we just eat fruits and vegetables. That's it. Now, this is great. This is what's great about having little kids is sometimes that fills them up. We're done. If it doesn't fill them up, we'll go back inside. We'll get some protein. We'll get like one of those rotisserie chickens. And then we go caveman style and we just eat that up. This is how I encourage you to eat. Start with the bottom line healthiest food. Not only do you know you're going to get all your vitamins and minerals, but you know that it's going to digest. Like the body has a really easy time digesting fruits. In fact, you can digest fruits in like 5 to 15 minutes. They're like right through you, right? Versus meats are going to take longer. Definitely anything fried is going to take a long time. So you want to either avoid those, or if you are going to eat those, do them at the end after you've already taken care of all your other stuff. So um, what else? Exercise is exercise is an art and a science. So I just talked a little bit about the art of it, like how to like ease it into your own life. Think in terms of habits, right? Think in terms of what you need to do on a consistent basis. So next, I want to talk about overdoing it or underdoing it. Now, I use the traffic light analogy, green, yellow, red. So a green exercise is one that's just so easy that it's not even effective. There's a green exercise. I'm just going to sit here and do this with my finger. I could do this for hours and hours and hours. This is not making me stronger. It's not helping my cardio. Nothing, right? It's just an example. A red exercise is like the hardest exercise you've seen, and the person can't even do the form right, and it's too hard, you know. So you want to find that yellow, that in the middle, that Goldilocks exercise, and you want to do this with every single exercise, right? If your workouts are too hard, you're in the no pain, no gain, you're sacrificing your form, you may get injured. Remember the Warren Buffett example, how do you make money, or how do you get rich? Don't lose money. How do you get fit? Don't get injured. Okay, so think in terms of what type of workout you can stick to for a year or more. There are 1,000,001 different ways to get fit. What's the one way that's going to like keep you captivated, right? And again, we're building community in my workout program. We have other members who are. I think I want to say that like I have something to do with the community, but I think they're just really cool people. But secondly, I do just leave it open. Like I don't want to be like the drill sergeant squashing you down when you tell a joke or anything like that. If you want to bring some levity into the workout, you are more than welcome to come in, my friend. Going back to nutrition a little bit though, have you heard of the term abs are made in the kitchen? That's mostly true, I would say. Diet is a huge a part of working out. Actually, here's a great example. So 10 years ago, maybe, my brother and I were at very opposite ends of the spectrum. I was very underweight. I mentioned when I got married, I looked like I had a huge head because my body withered away. I was eating like raw vegan. I think for the previous year, I was eating raw vegan. So no meat. I didn't even cook my vegetables. It was all just raw. I just eat vegetables and fruit. And their vegetables and fruits are very calorie poor, but very nutrient dense. So I would get full very quickly and easily, even without having a lot of calories. So I lost a lot of weight, and I was very underweight. I'm 6'1". I weighed 155 pounds. Like I was very skinny. I felt great. I felt healthy. I didn't get sick all year. Felt great. My brother at the other end of the spectrum, he's a tiny bit shorter than me, not much, maybe half an inch. And he was at like 210 pounds. He got pretty big in college. And this is crazy. Like this still blows my mind even to this day. For like 9 months, he and I did the exact same workout program. The exact same workout program for 9 months. It was kind of, I don't know, barbaric is the right word. All we were doing is running and lifting weights. I really wasn't stretching that much, but I was just trying to gain weight. Running and lifting weights, that's it. But we were doing the same workout. Here he is at 210. Here I am at 160. And what happened was, because we were eating differently, he started losing weight, I started gaining weight. I remember when we passed each other at about 185, and I think he went a little lower than that. I got up to about 190. I think he's at 185-ish. So I think I weigh more than him now by about 5 pounds. crazy, right? Like I was eating very dense foods. I was eating a lot of meat. I was eating a lot of rice, and then still eating vegetables, but not as much. And then he started transitioning toward more of a vegan diet, kind of similar to what I was doing. Still eating some meat, but mostly vegetables. So that's huge, right? I mean, think about that. Like, and I just had a client tell me a month or two ago that he lost weight on my program, even though he never really felt like he never had the perception that he was really pushing that hard. What did he do? He just kind of like started eating a little bit less, and he just started like not drinking beer as much. And it was really like he said it was just really easy. Like it was really undramatic, and it was just easy. And like he shows up to class, and he's not even really breathing that heavy. I mean, a little bit. It's like exertion, but it's not like, oh my God. Like, no. If you're there, I'll be like, hey, dude, take a break. Like, you don't need to be, that's totally red light, right? Red light, right? Okay. So, next thing I want to talk about is fitness being a two-step. That's it. There's only 2 steps to fitness. 1, find out where you are. So, take an honest assessment of where you are. And then 2, take 1 step. So, if you're walking 3 days a week, and you're eating kind of junk food, I would just say, well, maybe walk 4 days a week and eat a little better. And then once you get there, you're on that new plateau, then up your game a little bit more. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Where are you? What's the next step? Where are you? What's the next step? And that way you're never jumping. You're never saying like, okay, I'm a beginner and now I'm going to go to this CrossFit class and do like overhead squats with 135 pounds and run around the block. No, no, like that's a recipe for just like breakdown. So like you're sore for 5 days. No, no. You do not need to be sore for 5 days. No. Anybody who tells you you do, they just don't know what I do. That's it. Like they're not lying to you, but they've just never seen it. I see it every day. My clients are having fun. They have smiles on their faces. We're telling jokes. It's joy filled, and they're getting results. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna ask you this question: have you started yet? So the reason I ask this is because so many people get stuck in the first couple steps. But now you just need to do something, right? Get started and then readjust after you start going. So it's like riding a bike. Like you can't balance on a bike unless you're actually moving a little bit. So get started first. I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, and I remember hearing him, and he was talking to some lady who said, the lady's like, okay, I'm going to research the best trainer. I'm going to do this. And he said, ma'am, no offense, but you just need somebody to get behind you and yell, run! There's some truth to that. So again, you don't want to do a workout that's so outside of your zone that you get hurt. But that's what's great about what I do is that I'm always teaching classes for everybody. So what I will do, let's say for example, if I have an athlete, I've trained a few NFL players, and then I've trained like grandmas who haven't worked out since their children were young, like 40 years ago. Big range. And so what I'll always do is I'll say, okay, I want you guys to do this exercise, and it'll be a level 1 exercise. Okay, if that's easy if this is good, if this is your level, stay here. If this is too easy, this is what I want you to do. Okay, do the same thing there. Stay there if you're good. If that's too easy, this is what I want you to do. If that's too easy, this, and I keep going up. By the end, nobody, and I mean nobody is doing my most advanced version. I will have sometimes 5, 6 different levels, and that's all. This nothing special, like, but I've definitely put in my 10,000 hours. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this since 2004, and again before that, I started playing sports 1985 when I was 5 years old playing soccer. So it just comes very naturally to me. So there's always something for you, and I'm only saying this again because I said just get started. Just get started. Just do something. Just do something like today. Sign up for our classes. Again, do a free trial. When you're watching this, I don't know what officially the free trial is going to be, but I am always open to saying, hey, come on in, try a couple classes, see if it's for you. No forcing. Like, if it's not, cool, go. Best of luck to you. That's totally fine. But just get started with something. So a few more things here. So core is a buzzword that I've already thrown around a lot. That's where you want to start, center of gravity, but I don't see the core as just your abs. I see them as your hips, mostly your hips, because that's where your center of gravity is. Hips, abs, obliques, back, and the whole pelvic area generally, and your whole body really has a core, and the core refers to like the stability, as opposed to how big your muscles are. Let's figure out how well they work. So the order that I do the classes in, it's first I do hips and all the muscles around the hips, and then I work my way up the spine, the back, the abs, the shoulders, the arm, and then like arms and legs are at the end, right? So, and like more of the peripheral muscles at the end. We also want to work all three planes of motion, front to back. So, front to back, side to side, twisting. Okay, every body part, all the main body parts, hips, shoulders, core, can go front to back. They can go side to side, and they can twist. So, okay, so that's that. When most people work out the core, they're going front to back, and sometimes they're only going front, right? Abs, 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 abs. Abs are really important, but they're not everything. Okay, and in fact, the abs are secondary to the hips. The hips, the glutes, the hip flexors, the quads have to be in kind of stable and in the right position, strength wise, and be able to support the entire body before we can even start thinking of the abs. So the next thing I want to talk about, ways again to optimize your training. Again, if you want to just take this and run, cool. I hope I teach you something, but it's to work every muscle every day and in every plane of motion. This totally flies in the face of traditional like bodybuilding splits where you do shoulders one day, then biceps, and then your glutes, and then your legs the next day, and then it completely. Now, bodybuilding splits are great if you're going to compete in a show and you don't care about how you feel, but they're a great way to hurt yourself. So, I mean, because you're overloading one part of your body and pretending that your body, like, the hip bone's connected to the thigh bone, right? Like you're pretending that that's not true, but we all know that our body is one unit, right? So the analogy I use of bodybuilding, like if you're doing a split routine, it's almost like okay, working the triceps one day and then resting the triceps the next day to work your biceps is almost like trying to sleep with one eye open, right? I can say, well, I can really optimize my sleep if I rest my right eye right now and then, close this eye for 2 hours and I can still get work done on my computer. And then in 2 hours, I'll wake up and then I'll rest this eye and then I'll optimize my sleep. It's the same. It sounds ridiculous, right? It's the same thing. Like you systemically, you are not resting if you're working another body part, right? So you can't rest your triceps if you're working your legs. Systemically, you're not resting. You're producing damage in the rest of your body that your body needs to heal from, especially if you're lifting hard and heavy. So again, it's a great recipe for overtraining. So instead of that, start thinking in terms of working the entire body every day, but just changing the intensity. So maybe Monday you do full body stretching and range of motion. Tuesday you do full body stability work. Wednesday maybe you do full body strength work and maybe you hit your max. And then Thursday you might be so tired you might need to either rest or go back down to the light day. But again, every day is full body, and instead of splitting the body, you're splitting the intensity, or you're not splitting, you're changing the intensity. Okay, so we talked a little bit about order of exercises going from hips to shoulders to core and then legs and arms. So now you want to take that information and combine it with the three planes that I talked about earlier. So imagine this, it forms a grid, right? Like you have hips, shoulders, core, and then along the side you have front to back, side to side twisting. So you have the three body parts times the three planes, 3 times 3, you have 9 little boxes there. So it forms a grid, and this is what's going through my head when I'm creating your workouts, whether I've created it in advance or whether I'm creating it on the fly, which I do quite frequently actually, because again, I've been doing it so long. Like I can watch how a few of you guys are doing the form and say, oh, so-and-so, Susan is doing this with her legs, and so we need to add this workout, and it'll be good for everybody, but Susan really, really needs it. So as long as we check those 9 boxes, we're good. We got a balanced workout. So you can check out those 9 boxes and boom. So, all right. So, sorry, let me get my bearings here. There are hundreds of muscles in the body, right? There are dozens of range of motions that many of the joints can do. But if you simplify it to these three by 3 boxes, hip, shoulders, core, the 3 main body parts, and then the 3 ranges of motion, front to back, side to side twisting, takes a complicated system and turns it into a very usable formula that can take you to the next level. Okay, so, and I don't care how beginner or intermediate or advanced you are, this works. Again, I can have the professional athlete in the same class as the 85-year-old, just had a stroke a year ago, and it works. That scenario has happened, and it worked. And I asked both of them, how was the workout? They said, I feel like I got exactly what I needed. So I'm going to read a few testimonials real quick. Speaking of professional athletes, this is Marcus Rios. He said, I'm going to give you one concept that I learned that completely blew my mind. Strength and flexibility are the same thing. They're opposite ends of the continuum. Crazy. So yeah, absolutely. So think of it like this, and you think of strength. When you think of somebody who's really strong, do you typically think of someone who's flexible? Usually not, right? You think of someone who's able to like tighten up their muscles, but you don't necessarily think of that limberness, right? But they're the same thing. Another consideration that you want to address is the range of motion with any muscle, right? So I'm going to give you a few examples. So one thing is to engage the muscle in full contraction and then be able to stretch it all the way out. You want to be able to do both of those during the same workout. If this is a lot of information, as I'm reading this, I'm like, this is a lot to dump on somebody. But I did promise you that I would teach you some stuff. So if you don't want to learn all this academic knowledge, just check out a class and you'll learn it. You'll feel it, right? You'll be able to feel it. So every muscle has a short range. Like you can work the bicep in this range, right? It's short. This is the shortest bicep I can have. You can stretch it out behind you, and that's like a long range. So you can do strength exercises in that long range. That's how you develop flexibility and strength at the same time. You have all the tools to implement this on your own. So I want to give you that extra invitation today. So take these tools and do it on your own, or use my 15 years of experience, use the camaraderie that my clients have created with the system, and take it to the next level, right? So I want my clients to understand more about health and fitness than your average trainer. Not necessarily the theory and all the muscle names and stuff like that, but I mean like practical application. Like, this is what I want for you. If you go on a long trip across the country or to Europe or something, and you get off the plane and your back's hurting, I want you to know exactly how to get out of that back pain. Or if you go for 3 weeks and you just realize, oh my gosh, I've been eating like crap, you know exactly how to get back on the wagon. Or if you're like, man, I haven't lifted weights in a while, you know exactly how to drop the intensity down and progress back up. And if not, that's where I come in and I can help coach you. But that's my goal, is that on a practical level, that you know so much that you can take care of this earth suit, no problem. Okay? Now, I call it an earth suit because it reminds me that this is not me. Like, this is flesh and bones, and I'm gonna die one day. And this is for all the naysayers. I don't work out because I'm trying to like not die. I work out because I like how it feels, and I want to maximize my life where I have it. It's 10 p.m. and my voice is getting a little hoarse, so I apologize if I'm a little scratchy. But I felt really inspired to record this. I was talking to my son tonight, and he's like, "What are you doing with your business?" And I'm like, "Oh man!" And now I was talking to him and getting all excited. So, if you just took these concepts that I'm explaining to you today and developed your understanding and knowledge of them over the course of, like, let's say the next year or two, you would literally have everything that you need to achieve your goals. Now, again, I just went kind of surface level, and we go deeper as far as practical application during the classes. But really, this is it. Like, there are no secrets to the training. Like, I'm literally giving you everything. The only difference is the depth, right? We go deep. We can go deep in the one-on-one consultations. We can go deep in the training. We can go deep in the videos. For me, it took a good 6 to 8 years before I really had a really firm grasp on everything that I'm presenting to you today. Again, it was like 2011, about 10 years ago, when I really, like, it clicked, right? I became a trainer in 2004. It wasn't until 2011 where I was like, I get it. If you think about that whole 10,000 hours cliche, that's probably when I hit that stride. It was like I realized the key ingredients of strength, the key ingredients of flexibility, the key ingredients of cardio realized that it was really like the 80-20 rule. I cut out 80%, kept the top 20, kept the top 20 of each different fitness modality, and ran with that. And that's why my program is so broad and covers such a wide base. And that's, I have to stress though, it took me that long working full time as a trainer. And the average weekend warrior does not have that time. So like if you just on ramp into our classes and just say, I'm just going to do what you tell me to, Chris, for 6 months, man, you're going to know real quick. After 3 months, you're going to know real quick all the benefits that you're getting from this. So again, come in, try the class. I'm kind of wrapping this up, but we do have, let me just double check. Yeah, real quick, again, I think I briefly touched on the hybrid model of this. My personal training clients that I have pay anywhere between like $1,000 and $2,000 a month, which if you have the means, that's awesome. Like I believe personal training is the best. And in fact, I hired a personal trainer when I pretty much had no money. I was just out of college, but I thought it was important, and it was. It led me to my career even. So if you have the means, by all means, go for it. If not, even if you have a good job, you're like upper middle class, like $1,000, $2,000 can be steep. So the hybrid model is really important to me and has been. And a couple years ago, when I finally finished creating it, I was so proud. I was so happy. It's not your 15 or 50 or even $100 gym membership, because those are, they'll give you the equipment, but there's no guidance. Okay, and then on the other end of the spectrum, personal training, there's all the guidance in the world, but it can be pricey. And so the hybrid model kind of came into being where, it's classes where you still have interaction with me, but it's with a group. Then you have all the pre-recorded workouts, which you can do as much or little as you want. Again, I think right now we're up to 27 workouts, varying in time from 6 minutes up to 25 minutes. And then the one-on-ones. So one-on-ones, again, when you're first starting, you can come in once a week. It's just a 15-minute chat just to get you on the right direction. And then, once you've been coming for a while, you probably only need to check in once every 4, 6, even 8 weeks just to get the right direction. And then I'll ask you some questions, we'll chit-chat, and I'll make sure we target exactly what you want. So it's where do you want to go, and what have you been doing? And if I find that you've been doing things that are not going to lead you to where you want to go, then I just make little tweaks. There's no judgment, because it's all where you want to go. I don't care if you lose 15 pounds, unless you want to lose 15 pounds. If you want to lose 15 pounds, I care about that, and I'll help you do it. But I don't have any script. Like, I'm not, okay, you're 45 years old, you're 6'2" male, you should weigh this much. No, it's not about that. I don't care if it doesn't matter to me. If you want XYZ, then I want XYZ for you. It's as simple as that. So I'm pretty sure that's it. So so I'm keeping this in. I'm not doing any cutting. I'm not doing any editing. Here's my script. I'm going to read this script. I wrote this a couple months ago. Still here, huh? Well, let me finish with some home movies. These are my kids. They depend on me. I play sappy music. No. So these are my children. They depend on me to provide bread and milk for them. Every day we like to do a healthy green drink and make sure that they have all the vegetables they need. This is great, by the way, to get your kids to consume more vegetables. Put a lot of lemon and avocado in. They won't taste the spinach and the cucumbers much. It's so delicious. Basically, just put a bunch of videos here where the kids are doing cute things. Oh, I'm not supposed to write that. So these are my kids. This is why I do what I do. This is my spark, my motivation. It's my goal in life to be able to provide them with the type of tools that they need to grow up healthy and strong. If you have kids, your commitment and dedication to your own personal health is setting a standard for them too. They're watching you, right? You can break the cycle of poor health. So, thank you for listening to this video. I hope it was beneficial. I'm used to doing podcasts about 25 minutes. And the how-to videos are a little bit shorter that I do. So this is a lot for me to just talk to you one-on-one for this long. I hope it was valuable. and I really, really want to meet you and encourage you to sign up. Check it out. Email me, fill out the form, whatever it is. I mean, honestly, I don't know what the promotion this month will be, but we'll get you in. You can try it out before you buy if you like. Try out a couple classes. Try out a couple weeks if you need to. I really want to make sure that you believe it's the right choice for you. So if you're ready to take that next step, that one step, dip your toes in. I guess you already dipped your toes in. If you're ready to get into the shallow end, I'll help you into the shallow end. So thank you again. Chris Janke signing off. Time to go to sleep.